Yes, 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 yes. Hey guys, Gerald Peters. So, in this video, I want to talk to you about getting to your first $1 million. Now, listen, so we're going to do this with a little beer, okay? This is one of my favorite subjects to talk about. If you go back and watch some of my other videos, I'm not trying to wow you. I really don't even edit videos. I should. I'm not looking for 100,000 followers. I'm looking for 1,000 true fans, okay? Looking for people that want information that's going to help them. I'm probably not the most entertaining guy. My videos are about you stacking cash, real money. And I'm going to show you what to do. This is 20,000 bucks. We're going to talk about what I would do if I had 20,000 bucks to help me get to $1 million. Now, if you're 16 or 18 or 22 or 23 and this number feels absurd, like just saying it feels absurd, we should work on that, because I'm going to show you a formula that could help you do that. But it's fractal. The game is fractal. So instead of 1 million, you could just drop it down, right? Just cut a zero. And now we're talking about 100,000. If 100,000 seems too much, stay with me. It's the same formula, the same strategy, the same path. I call it the millionaire code if you go watch some of my other videos. Now I'm going to try to do this one without cursing. It's hard for me not to curse. I spent 7 years in the U.S. Army, 2 combat zones, and worked in a prison for 3 years. It just becomes part of your vernacular, okay? And so if you hear me, I'm trying not to curse as much. So if 100,000 is too big, let's say you're 16 years old, your goal is $10,000, okay? When I say that, I mean net worth. You have it, it's invested, done. We're back to zero, okay? We want to keep going back to zero. If you don't know, now you know. Little Biggie Smalls there. A couple books I wrote. This one I don't even sell anymore, but I do give it to my friends. It's called The Psychology of Creating Goals and Extraordinary Wealth. That's me on the cover. This book I give away free. No follow-up. I'm not going to email you other than send you the book. I'm not going to follow up in an email. I'm not going to try to do anything. It's just from me to you. If you like it, you'll come back, okay? And this book is my trading strategy. This is my bread and butter. This is what ultimately I'm trying to sell people, how to trade. And I think it could help you get to the $1 million. So let's move these. Self-promotion out of the way, right? But let's keep this. These are real money, $100 bills. I think you should keep some emergency money in savings. And if you have if you have my free ebook, You Don't Have to Die Broke, I talk about that. But we're going to use this for illustrative purposes. So getting to our first $1 million. A couple things we got to cover here, okay? This is not cheesy. This is not me trying to sell you something. This is a blueprint. Whether you work at Walmart, whether you're 16, whether you're 50 years old, whether you drive for UPS, whether you're a YouTuber, a movie star, a doctor, or a lawyer, it's the same path. Step one. You need a vehicle, a means, an ability, the wherewithal somehow to make money. Call this a vehicle. On my YouTube or on my Instagram, if you follow me on Instagram at FullAuto11, same tag, and on Twitter, I called it a vehicle. So we need a vehicle to get us to making money. The most I ever made at a job was $12.50. So I understand. I'm blue collar as it gets, raised in a trailer parker in Arkansas. At 29 years old, after being in the Army for 7 years, or I got out of the Army, I bumped into a guy who broke down the millionaire blueprint on a napkin, on a piece of paper, and gave me one book that set me on a course for real estate. And this is what he used, an example of $20,000. That's why I have it right here. I'm going to use the same example he used on me, and it changed my life. Now, the numbers could be different because the years are different, right? I'm 50 years old. You're whatever age. We can do these money videos as much as you want. If you're a member, I have this thing, we call it the Money Flow Gang. It's actually called the Money Flow Trading Society. If you want to come in there with me, I'm slowly building this out. It revolves mostly around stock trading, but I'm also starting to incorporate a lot of this kind of stuff. So the Money Flow Society, if you're interested. To get into that, it's not expensive. Don't worry about that. I got kids that work at McDonald's in it. I got a girl that trades with me that works at McDonald's. You just have to buy my book, and then it's a little cost to get in there. But first is the vehicle. You need a vehicle. So you have to have a way of making money, right? So what is a way of making money? A job. Now, a lot of gurus are going to shit on jobs. I kind of make fun of jobs sometimes. A job got me to $1 million. While saying that, a job's not going to get you to $1 million. A job will get you to $1 million. And you'll see. Sometimes in this, you're going to see a lot of double talk. See, a job is honorable, and a job is how you pay your bill. So a job pushes off wages. The problem with wages is they tax the hell out of wages. I almost said a bad curse word. They tax you. When you have a business, see, business owners are in a different tax class. They get to write everything off. This board, write off. These books, write off. Everything in my life, almost everything, is a tax write-off. Now, some things you can't, but most things you can. Okay, so tax write-offs. So we have two different tax codes going here. So what I decided to do, because I didn't make a lot of money, I had me a solid job. I actually went and found the best part-time job I could find. Like a part-time job that actually had benefits. It took me a while to find one. But once I found a part-time job that was solid, I took it. And what did that do? That freed me up to focus, because now I had enough money to survive on, because my spouse worked too. Or it could be your girlfriend or your roommate. It could be a roommate. I just needed a job to cover the basics. Wages are cool. I need a way that's unlimited to make the profit. See, wages are fine, but profits are what are going to make you rich. Profits come from a business, from selling things. So you need to be about the business of selling things. All of the money that you want is in the pockets, purses, wallets, checkbooks, credit cards of other people. Me and you exchanging. Now, if you're a follower of mine, you know I'm a huge fan of the book, The Science of Getting Rich. Why? The Science of Getting Rich teaches us how to sell with integrity. Meaning, if I sell you this, it's worth a hell of a lot more than $60. I spent $70,000 losing, learning to trade, going through all this bullshit that you could be 20 years old, skip all of that, and just jump right to what I know and what I do. How valuable is that? Is that worth $60? I think so. So the Science of Getting Rich teaches this idea that if you give people more in use value than you ask for in monetary value, you'll get rich. Well, that sounds a lot like what Jesus said. Didn't Jesus say it's better to give than to receive? Why would he say it's better to give than to receive? Because if you give value, people, universal law of reciprocity, people feel obligated to give to you. You smile at someone, they feel obligated to smile at you. You open the door for a lady, she feels obligated to smile at you. Basic principles of business. Give people more than you charge for, and you will get rich. The other thing, all of the money that you want is in the pockets, purses, wallets, checkbooks of other people. So we need to learn to communicate with people. That's why one of the 10 pillars of success is to learn to effectively communicate and deal with people. Having your Instagram account on private is not learning to effectively communicate with people. It tells me that you're broke. You're broke. You're hiding. Why are you hiding from people? All the money you want, other people have it. Just saying. Just saying. Job. So a job, now every time I say there's always some woman that hits me back, but she's hiding from her husband's gonna kill. Okay, I get all of that. Okay, I'm just talking in general. You are a 22-year-old person, you're trying to network, make contacts, and do things. How about when I go look you up, when you apply for a job, I could look at your social media and you give me the image that you want me to see. I don't get the image of a dipshit. Oh, I cursed. I don't get the image of an idiot or someone who just plays all the time. I get the actual person. So what your intent that you push out into the, go look at mine. What do you see? I'm about getting the money, the Benjamins. That's where my mind's at. Why? Because that's how I feed my family. That's how I take care of loved ones. This is how I can affect people. So if my mind's not on this, how am I going to take care of my family? What if my kid gets sick? What if we get coronavirus? What if my friend needs a loan or my mom? And I'm over here partying up and playing. Heavy's the head that wears the crown. This is a burden. The reason people don't do it is not hard. I'm going to show you how. It's easy. We're going to get into that. Just stay with me in this video. I'm going to show you how to get to $1 million. So first thing is we need a vehicle. What else after a vehicle? We need a second vehicle. We need two vehicles to make this happen. One vehicle creates money. Okay? The second vehicle, vehicle number 2, creates the compounding. We need some way of compounding our wealth. You've got to make money with money. This is a skill set. This shit's not gonna happen early. But here's what happens when you're 18. You get it out of order. So in my book, I talk about the buckets. Here's the buckets. One bucket is a job, right? And over here, your necessities. This is where you have your student loans and your debts and your cell phone bill and car payments and all the shit you need to live in life. You can control how big that bucket is. All the money coming out of the well to go to the buckets, this is the well, that's how you make your income. The next one is the savings. And the next one is investing. Here's what a lot of people want to do. They want to jump from the job to investing. If you do that, I promise you, you're not going to make it. You're not going to get to $1 million. You're just not. You've got to get the buckets right. The savings protects the investing. My goal every day when I wake up is to protect. I have $3 million invested in real estate and stocks. This savings, this cash, I have over $100,000 physical cash, right? Not in my house. Don't get any ideas. In physical cash. Why? It protects my rental properties. It protects my side hustles. It protects my business. It protects my family. In other words, when the market crashes, I don't have to sell anything. I don't have to get panicked. I don't need a almost cursed again. I don't need a government loan. Why? Because I'm solid. Because I did the buckets right. The millionaire blueprint. It took me 18 years. It took me 8.2 years to get to millionaire status. And I'm going to show you that. First, you need a vehicle to make money, a job. If you don't make enough at your job, I made $12.50. I started a lawn care business. I got a good part-time job, started a lawn care business. I got involved in network marketing. I started doing affiliate marketing. I started painting houses. Anything I could do to make money. And I created what I call the 8th day. I work 8 days a week. Other males, other humans, other people do 40 hours. I would do 80, 100. Just for a time and a season, not for your whole life. Listen, for a time and a season, if you committed yourself to the process that I'm showing, the foundation that you lay will be so massive, I can almost guarantee you, you're going to get to the $1 million, okay? So, we need a vehicle to make money. 2, we need a vehicle for compounding. A couple ways we're going to talk about that. Off the top, that could be a business. You invest in a business, a private business. Wow, it's hot in here. Start a business or invest in someone else's business. Be very careful doing that. Only ship that doesn't sell is a partnership. Be very careful with partnerships. Unless you know what you're doing, you know what they're doing, and put that shit on paper. Put it on paper. Okay? Be very careful with partnerships. So many people lose money on that. Number 2 is real estate. And I'm going to show you why real estate's the best for compounding. Business is the best to make the most money fast. You want to get rich fast? It's with a business. You want to get rich for sure? It's with real estate. And the easiest of all, it's just monkey simple, and it's stocks. And if you don't have time to do real estate, you don't have time to start a business, but you have a high-paying vehicle, you're a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, you're a chiropractor, you own a business, you own a trucking company, a tattoo parlor, a shipping business, a restaurant, you're making money, real money. You put that money, you already are doing this, you push that money to real estate, and if you don't have the access to real estate, you push it to other people's businesses, which is called the stock market. Now, I've done all of these. I've done them all structured in a way it's called the push, but if you live in California, real estate may be off the table, but paying off your personal home, which is an investment regardless of what all these idiot gurus tell you, borrowing money on a home is the cheapest money you can borrow on planet Earth, and it's leveraged, and you have to pay rent anyway. Owning a home is smart, and anyone that disagrees with that is an idiot, period. I'm not even having the conversation with you. You're stupid if you don't understand why owning a home and building equity is smart, okay? And no, I'm not talking about the kid who's going to be in town for 6 weeks. He's not buying a house. But if your kid's going to college for 5 years, how about instead of going broke, how about instead of spending all that money on debt, what if you put on your thinking cap, heavy's the head that wears the crown, you begin to go through the money flow, go through this process of becoming rich. And when your kid's born, you begin to set aside money in a vehicle that would compound so that your kid didn't have to go to college with debt. And when it came time for him to go, you take money out of this, you buy a home, you put the kid in, you now charge rent to his friends, and when he leaves, you get all your money back that you sent him to college with. That's another one. You can go on these all day, man. Most people just have the flow messed up. A couple little changes here, a little change there, a little consistency here, go a little harder there, and bam, your net worth explodes. But you have to be about it, man. You have to be about the Benjamins and not spending the Benjamins. Most of you guys want to spend the shit. I'm not talking about giving it away to corporations. I'm talking about keeping it. Getting on the other side of the cash register. You collecting money. Not paying it out. Most people are paying it out, man. They're not collecting money. Stop giving it to corporations, Ford Motor Company, car payments. You will never get to $1 million when you have $500 car payments and you make $40,000 a year. Okay? You're making $500 car payments, which compounds to about $3.2 million in 3 years if you put it in a vehicle that compounds instead of a vehicle that depreciates. Play on words, vehicle, right? So just that simple mind shift, if you can get that in your mind, and no, you don't need a $500 payment to get to work. People will use this as an excuse, especially I see this a lot when young couples have a baby. Oh, we need a $45,000 car to carry the baby. Not that we carried babies in wagons and walked across plains, but somehow your baby needs air conditioning and a $500 a month car payment. So that's fine if you want to do that, but don't at the same time talk about this because you're just talking out your butt right then. You can't get to this when you're doing this when you're broke. Okay? Instead of doing this, you got to get in a situation where you're collecting this. So how do we do that? Well, put it in a vehicle where instead of putting it in cars, you put it into a house. If this is available to you, and it's available to most people across America, not if you're in San Diego or I get all that. There's other ways to do real estate if you live there too. So this is $20,000. And for this example, I'm going to say this house is $100,000. I get it, they cost more, bigger down payment. I totally understand that. Although I bought one for $89,000 last year here in Huntsville, Texas. So I go in, you say, Gerald, but this is all my money. It's just paper. It's just paper. So we go in, and I say, Mr. Banker, here's 20 grand. Mr. Banker says, here's the keys to this beautiful house right here. Well, here's what Mr. Banker just did for me. Mr. Banker just turned my 20 into 100. If you bought it smart, like I do, and put in physical labor because you work 8 days a week, because you're a hustler and you're looking for a good property, when you're done fixing it up, you put maybe $10,000 in, it's now worth maybe $130,000. Right? That's not hard to do. And let's say 120, we're conservative. We have a mortgage, we put $80,000 down, right? Put $80,000 down. Or $20,000 down, which means we're carrying a mortgage on $80,000. But the house is now worth what? $120? That looks a lot like $40,000 in equity. So right there, I just doubled your 20. I just doubled your 20. I've done this 15 times. You can do this anytime you want. I know people have done this hundreds of times. You can do it, but you're not going to do it at home on your computer. You can do this, okay? Now, these are perfect examples. Let's say it doesn't, well, that's doable, but let's say it doesn't do that. Let's just say it's worth 100, you put down 20, now you got 100. Well, guess what? The house is going to appreciate by 5% a year, not on the 20. I'm not getting 5% on the 20. If you put this 20 in the stock market, you're going to get about 5% cash flow and a good dividend stock. You're going to get, what, about 9 to 10% a year in appreciation. So what would that be? That'd be $2,000 plus about $2,500, right? $2,600 a month, a year, that would go up in the stock market, which is fine. But over here, I'm getting 5% on 100,000. That's 5K. I'm also getting paid maybe 200 little Benjamins here, getting 200 of these every month just for owning the property. So what is that times 12? That's 2,400. So now we got that, right? 2,400. Oh, what else do we got? Loans being paid down. That's probably what? Let's just call that 1,500. Let's call that 1,500, right? Oh, what else we got? Oh, it's tax-free. So what do we got now? 5 plus, so this would be 3, 4, that's 9K every year on our 20,000. This 20,000 is returning me a net worth total increase of $9,000. Why is that important? You can't do that in the stock market. So what does that do? That's our vehicle, the compounding vehicle. But you can't go to the compounding vehicle if you don't get the money-making vehicle right. So you got to make money before you start trying to do what I'm talking about. So project number 1, make more money, work more days. That's how that usually looks. You got to do this. Got to create multiple income streams. Got to create the 8th day. It's called the 8th day. Nobody outworks me. And here's the thing. I don't go to work. Everything I do, I love doing. I have a fun time. I love this stuff. Who doesn't love money? Who doesn't love writing books, trading stocks? Like, I love this stuff. So I haven't worked a day in 10 years. I get to get up and do what I want to do. I want to invest. I want to make money. I want to do like things that help me make. I get excited about it. Okay? If you dread going to work, it's because you have a shitty job. You need to stop. What are you going to do? Spend the rest of your life doing something you don't like doing? Why? To pay bills? Come on, man. Fix that. That's where you start. Go read the book, The Science of Getting Rich, and get this part right. Okay? Number 2, we need a vehicle to compound our money. We've already decided what that looks like. 1, a business. That's the fast lane. Fast lane. Right? 2, also could be the most dangerous. 2 is RE, real estate. This is great. And 3 is stocks. So what I did with stocks, I like trading. I'm not even talking about trading on you. Trading is a way to make more money. So I would put trading up here because I trade to make money. So that would go up here. So in my wells, I'm going to have my job or my business. Even if you have a business, I would encourage you to create a side hustle. I would try to maximize the job. Are you getting all the overtime and everything? It doesn't do any good to go make $8 an hour on your own if you can get 20 hours working overtime. So we want to create multiple streams of little income streams, selling stuff, flipping things, garage sales, network marketing, affiliate programs. I don't give a shit what you're doing. Something to make money. You need something that makes you money. Okay? Don't spend money doing these. Don't be giving gurus $3,000 for a wholesaling course. Don't you give these people money for a wholesale course. Are you out of your damn mind? And don't you dare pay one of these guys $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 for a sales course or for some inner circle bullshit or for some trading course. I can show you how to trade the same way I trade every day for $60 and I make money trading. Okay? Am I the world's greatest? No. To me, I am. You can come trade literally with me in the Money Flow Trading Society for less than $300. Don't be giving these idiots all this money. I see it. It drives me crazy. Wholesale course. No. Don't do it. How to sell shit on Amazon. No. Don't do it. Don't buy any of these courses that are over a couple $100, man. Don't do it. I've never bought any, and I bought some expensive ones, and none of the expensive ones are worth any better than some of the books that I paid for $2 on Amazon. So don't do that. You're trying to shortcut it. If you want to shortcut it, go start a business and work your ass off. Take that $2,000 and go buy a lawnmower or a paint rig and learn how to paint and start making some money, right? Don't give these idiots on YouTube your money. So we're going to make money. We got to compound the money. If you ever look at a compound chart, it looks like this. So Marco DeMarco in the book Fast Lane talks bad about compounding. He's wrong on that, by the way. That's stupid because I'm compounding. I'm on year 18 of this and it works. Compounding works. It's not fast, but it works. And every month now it gets bigger and bigger for me. And you've seen what it looks like when you're on year 20, right? And then year 30. Well, over here is year 30, if you ever look on a compound chart. So the guy's putting in $100 and $100 and $100, and then 30 years later he has all this money, right? Problem is, you can't see yourself as an old person. So why do we have to start down here? And why do you have to start with $100? Like, instead of being a little bitch, what if you started investing $3,000 every month? That looks a lot like buying a house. When you buy one house, you're going to fast forward on this scale, like way down here in one transaction. You're going to bypass your buddies saving $100, $200 in one transaction. What did I tell you that one house does for you every year? $9,000 in total net worth. One house. What if I get 10 houses? $90,000 in net worth increase every year. What does that do going down the chart when your buddy's putting in $100 a month? That's $1,200 a year. Or your buddy's let's say your buddy's maxing it out at $5,000. And you have $90,000. $5,000, $90,000. Tax-free. What happens? Look how fast you go down the chart. So instead of spending a decade down here, why don't we just jump down here? How do we do that? 7 to 10 years on the Millionaire Blueprint. Figuring out our vehicle to make money, working the 8th day, putting it into vehicles that compound like a business, real estate, and stocks, and doing it consistently for 7 to 10 years. Hard. There is no other path. There isn't. Every guy that you look up to on YouTube, on Instagram, and anywhere, Colonel Sanders, the guys on Shark Tank, the ladies on Shark Tank, Mark Cuban, Donald Trump, anybody that you look at, Steve Jobs, anybody, spent 7 to 10 years to be an overnight success. It takes 7 to 10 years. If you want to learn to sell on Amazon, it's going to take you it'll take you 7 to 10 years to become a master trader. Anybody teaching you they can show you to trade in a couple months and you'll be good is full of shit, and if you believe them, you're stupider than they are. There is no other way to put it. If you buy into that, you're an idiot. There is no other way to do it. It's going to take time. I could teach you to be a master trader, and I will never tell you I'm going to teach you in a couple months because I'd be lying to you. And I open this up saying that the science of getting rich teaches that if you give people more in use value than you ask for in monetary value, they owe you. So everyone that I've taught owes me because I gave them way more than I ever charged them for. They owe me. I don't owe them. Get the exchange there? That's the kind of exchanges you want to have. You want to be a giver. Gary Vee says jab, 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 right hook. He didn't make that up. Jesus made that up. It's better to give than to receive. When you see these people wanting $2,000, $3,000, these are takers. These are scumbags. You need to avoid these people. These are takers. And they'll make excuses. Oh, this is for a select group of people. Bullshit. These are takers. These are takers. These are people who have taken from the universe, and now they're taken from you. And they're everywhere. It's prolific in our society. And it sucks. It's prolific in the trading community and the real estate community, and it makes me sick. And I know there's some that'll try to justify it. And if you're one of them, you make me sick. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know how you sleep at night. But there's people that do it. And some of you will justify it because you paid it. And so now you need to come up with a reason why you were stupid enough to give someone $3,000. There's one I just looked at the other day. It was $3,000. Completely absurd. And they're not going to teach you anything I just showed you about working the 8th day, creating multiple streams of income. In this book, I break down the bucket system that'll take care of number 1 right here. Compounding, chapter 10, I talk about a very simple strategy to get you going in the stock market, compounding, okay? And then we can decide, what are your side hustles? Are they going to be a business? Real estate can be an investment and a side hustle and a business. That's not getting your realtor license, by the way. And stocks are an obvious one, especially if you're a high income earner, you have an actual skill set, you're very busy, you make a good living. Stocks are great. I don't like turnkey real estate. I think it's for idiots. I think it's a terrible idea. I don't like buying real estate out of state. If you figured out how to pull it off, congratulations. That's just not my thing. I know people have. I get it. And don't look at billionaires for that formula, okay? You need to look at regular people because you're not a billionaire. So how do regular people buy one house, and then how do you fix the water heater or the roof leak, and how do you know they're not screwing you over? You're going to deal with a real estate agent that's a property manager. I have never, in my 21 years of managing property, ever met a realtor who was a very good property manager. All they do is pick the phone up and call someone. They don't climb on your roof. I've never seen a realtor in a suit go in an attic. I've never seen a realtor climb underneath a house. Most of the realtors I know don't know shit about real estate. What they know is paperwork and what it looks like on prices. They don't climb under houses. They don't go in attics. They don't go on roofs. Now, some of them will tell you they think that is not what real estate is. That's exactly what real estate is. You want to drive a race car, you need to understand engines and torque and turning, speed and acceleration and velocity. Most people who are teaching you and selling you about real estate don't know the difference between a 2x4 and a treated 2x4, or drywall and a green board and regular drywall. They don't know these things. They don't know the difference between flex pipe. So keep that in mind, the people you're listening to. Don't do business with partners until you've created a solid income stream for yourself. Be invested in the stock market. Now I'll wrap up with this. I know I can go for hours talking about the millionaire. Go look at a compound chart and ask yourself, why do I gotta wait so long to get down it? Just push yourself down as fast as you can. Begin to focus on net worth. Net worth. Stop looking at investments when you're 18. You're too young to, you ain't got no money to invest. 18 years old looking at investments. You need to be looking at how to make money. You need to be taking your money and putting it in shit that's going to make you money. You don't need to be buying AT&T stock when you're 18 years old to get a 5% dividend yield. Are you serious? You need to take that money and figure out how to buy a damn apartment building, or how to buy a trailer park, or how to buy a restaurant, or how to buy a trucking business, how to buy some shit that's going to make real money. But when you take it and you go buy yourself 100 shares of AT&T, congratulations. Maybe you make $800 over the next year or two. I could make that on a weekend. Like, come on, man. See, this is misappropriated tensions. Their intentions are good. They want to learn about investing and trading, but it's at the wrong time. They have the buckets out of order. And if you get the buckets out of order, you will never, ever get to the $1 million. You've got to do this shit in order. You've got to do it in order. There's no way, you're not going to invest your way to that. It's going to start with you making money and no debt. And then investing the margin. And it's not going to be you did a couple $100s a month. I'm not talking about baby shit. I'm talking about you investing $3,000 to $5,000 a month. You say, well, I can't do that. I know, because you got to get this right. You can't be satisfied making $50,000 a year. Like, that needs to piss you off. The goal at a minimum is $100,000 a year. Minimum. I don't care if you're like, well, I don't have a college education. Neither do I. I'm on track to make 400 grand this year. I didn't go to college. I don't have a certificate. I'm not qualified to do anything. I'm not a realtor, and I have 2.5 million in real estate. I'm not a realtor. I do marketing online. I've never paid for a $2,000 affiliate course or an Amazon drop card. Never did any of that shit, right? I don't have a Series 7. I don't have a Series 7 investment thing. I'm not a financial advisor. But I trade on a daily basis $500,000 in the stock market. Why? I follow the path, the blueprint, trying to get to $1 million. Now I'm trying to get to 10. I'm trying to get to 10 mil. Remember, take a zero off, that's too big. Take another zero off if it's still too big. You get to 10,000 the same way you get to 100. When you get to 100, so getting to 100,000 net worth is simple, dude. That's like buying 2 houses and 10 or 15 stocks. Dude, come on. That's like baby shit. You know how easy this, you just take this. Mr. Realtor, I'd like to have a house. It's that simple. You have a good credit and a 2-year work history. Buying a house is monkey simple. Putting money in stocks is easy. If you're not doing these 2 things, I get maybe you're not launching a business. Not everybody's cut out to be a business. But if you're not doing stocks and you're not doing real estate, you deserve to be broke, because there is no other path. You own a business, you invest in business, or invest in real estate. That's it. There is no other path. Everything is one of those 3. So let's talk about one thing and I'll wrap up here, man, because I can babble all day about money. One thing about money. There are people that having this much money would bother them. Like just having it around. It doesn't bother me. I don't want a mental separation. Like, it's good to have some money. When you get a $100 dividend, that's what you're getting. You should have some around, man. It shouldn't be taboo. This is not some weird thing. It's just pieces of paper. Stored up energy. This is good. This is the reward for your efforts. And if you're going to collect something, like say you like to collect things, why not collect money? People like to collect Chotsy shit, rabbits, and this and that, and fishing poles. And I collect guitars. What if you just collected money? Because when you get in the habit of collecting money, it's a skill set. Keeping money is a skill. And when you develop this skill and you learn to get on the other side of the cash register, you stop buying courses and you start creating courses. That's one way to create a side income. Some of you guys own a tattoo parlor or a shipping company or a restaurant. The fact that you don't have an eBook on how to start your own restaurant is an absolute crying shame. It's ridiculous. You could be making money on that. You could be making money on how to become a tattoo artist. You could be making money on how to do whatever it is you do. Somebody is 18 years old and would like to know, and they have to go out and be ripped off by idiots charging them $3,000 to learn. So I began to teach this concept of the Millionaire Blueprint for free. Free. Why? Because as I taught it, people would buy my books. So instead of me paying for advertising, I just began to teach what's in the books. And then people come and buy. So what if 1,000 people buy my $60 book? What is that? $60,000. Let's just pretend there's no cost in that. What could I do with $60,000? That'd be 3 of these stacks. What could I do? Where I live, I could buy 3 houses, maybe 2. 3 houses are worth what? Let's say 2 houses. They're a $150,000 house. That's $30,000 down. That's 2 houses. What are they worth? They're worth $300K. I just leveraged 1,000 book sales at $60 for 60 grand into $300,000 by taking the money and taking it to the bank. Now, it's going to take a while to get the full $300,000. We're going to start the process, right? I'm going to have $60,000 in equity in these $300,000 homes. Every month I'm going to collect. Guess what? They start giving me this money back. Every month I start getting this money back. And the money starts to stack up again, right? The money starts coming back to me in the form of rent payments. Oh, wait, the money comes back to me in the form of what? Loan pay down. Oh, wait, the money comes back to me in the form of what? Appreciation. So fast forward 5 years where a normal guy takes this money that he just made selling books and he goes and spends it. And he gives it to car companies, all this other bullshit, right? What if I took it and I bought 2 houses in 5 years? What is compounding on 300,000? So what is 5% of 300? Are you getting this yet? Do you see how you get to be a millionaire fast? When you move up the chart fast? So what is the appreciation on 300K? That's $15,000 a year. Oh my God, that sounds almost like we've got our money back. Multiply that times 5 years. 15 plus 15 plus 15 plus 15 plus 15, but that's not even compounding it, because remember, number 2, we need a vehicle to compound it. So I took 1,000 book sales, converted it into 2 houses, which gave me control of $300,000, which produced a cash flow of probably $5,000 a year. The house is going to appreciate by $15,000 a year. That's a total of 20. We're going to pay down the loans for another 5. That's $25,000 plus it's tax-free. So we're at $25,000 a year tax-free times 5 years is $125,000. So I sell it, I get all my money back. Plus, on top of that, I made $125,000. Now I went fast on that. Now multiply this times 10. That's 1.25 million. But you got to be about this game.